Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. All right, it's 7:30 on this Thursday night. That means it's time to find out if you like it or not. I'm producer Chris, and tonight we're talking about age limits at bars, but not in the way you might think. Cassette tapes making a comeback. We're talking about AI police sketches, minivans, and more. But before we talk about any of those stories, we have to talk about how you can join us live. You can join us live right now if you are watching this show, and there are a lot of different ways that you can do it. We're streaming, obviously, so you can do it via YouTube. You can do it in the Zoom room. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, leave some comments in the chat. We'll read them a little later. If you're watching on the Fox Local app on your connected TV, you can make it a two-screen experience. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code, get your hot takes ready. If you're watching on our website, fox5dc.com, or you're watching Fox Local Mobile on your phone, and you can't scan the QR code because you can't do two things at the same time on there, but you want to join the Zoom room, I have a link posted on my Instagram. It's pinned to the top, Fox 5 Producer Chris. That's also where we are streaming live on TikTok right now. And on Instagram, we also have our broadcast channel. I posted a link to the Zoom room in there as well. We'll check in with all of our virtual co-hosts coming up here in just a second. First, though, we have to say hello to my in-studio one, and this is an exciting one for me. Please welcome former Fox 5 intern, current American University multimedia student journalist, Kennedy Morgan.
Hey,
Thank
Chris.
you so much for joining us, and welcome back. So, if people didn't know, you were here over the summer. You did some hits on the Live Zone with Guy Lambert and stuff too, but tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Kennedy. I'm a senior at American University. I'm studying political science and broadcast journalism, and I graduate this May. I'm a dancer, I'm a runner, and I'm a teacher, and I really missed being in the newsroom. I absolutely loved my internship over the summer. I worked in the news and digital department, so like you said, I worked with Guy, I worked with the reporters like Chad, I worked with our producers, and it gave me like such an incredible experience on what it means to work in a newsroom. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and I'm so grateful to be back.
Well, we're excited to have you back, and I said it's a little bit of a throwback for me as well because I also went to American University, so I love seeing a future journalist from American University as well. Also, coincidentally, just a little behind the scenes here, it's also our Fox 5 holiday party. It's happening right now up in the penthouse here at our Fox 5 studios. And another fellow intern here is here as well. Yep. Sammy is our live musical performance.
That's
so
right.
Pretty exciting there
he's
too.
Our musical guest.
He's a very talented musician as
incredible.
well. So, you ready to dive in?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. And first up, we're talking about a bar band, and it may hit a little close to home for our resident college student, but I'm going to let Take It To producer Sophie explain why. Take a listen.
This bar in my hometown of Lexington, Kentucky, they posted a TikTok a little while ago saying that I want you to take a look at this, saying that we like our patrons, like we like our bourbon aged. Chevy Chase Inn is not a college bar. This is actually not in Chevy Chase, Maryland. It is the Chevy Chase neighborhood of Lexington, Kentucky. Fun fact, it is named after Maryland, though. But I want to get your take on should they limit their clientele to just the older locals, or should they open it up to the college kids?
It's their bar. They set the rules, right? Listen, I think we've all been to a college bar, hopefully when we were in college. It's a time. It's probably the best kind of bar you want to be at when you're in college. Now, when you're older and more seasoned and you're just trying to, have a little conversation, be at the bar, you're not trying to, take shots with the kids. I can't keep up.
All right, Marina might not be able to keep up, but I like to think that I still can. But Kennedy, bars banning college students. Do you like this or not?
So it depends on the bar. I think that there are some bars that you kind of just know that are for college students, right? You walk in, you see that there's a line of 50, 19-year-olds, maybe you shouldn't go in there. So I think it depends on the bar.
Well, hopefully they're checking IDs because you got to be 21.
Hopefully they're checking IDs because that is the legal and proper thing to do. And I, as a 21-year-old, am going to say, yes, I've been to several college bars, but I think this is an issue for a larger conversation.
What counts as a college bar here in the district?
Like examples?
Name names. Name some names.
I don't know if I can name names, but I'll say if you're in the DuPont Circle area and you don't want to be around college students, maybe exit the DuPont Circle area because that's where you're going to find most of those college kids. But I will say, as someone who is in favor of the drinking age being 18, I think that there's a much larger conversation here. But I will say, banning college students, I'm perfectly fine with. They shouldn't be drinking in the first place. Protect your business. It's not worth going to jail for. If you want to ban college students, ban college students.
All right. Well, that's what Melissa. You got a brand new baby there with you. You got 21 years before you even have to worry about this. But do you like the idea of bars banning college students? And if they can ban college students, can they also set age limits on the upper end and say no one over 40 allowed?
I totally agree. Totally agree. I am with this 100%. As a something-year-old, I don't want to be around college students. If I do actually go out to a bar, some of them just don't know how to behave, and a lot of them nowadays, they think they're privileged no matter what bar you go to, and I just don't want to be around that mess. So yes, if I have a business and I want to ban college students from going, yes, I would absolutely do this.
Okay. Oh, Maria, do you agree?
Bars banning college students, I like it. I feel that instead, perhaps having a bar light, a version where they can get a taste, but not the highest percentage alcohol content or extended hours. So maybe 4 to 7 p.m. Here's what it's like. All right, no more. So I like the general ban so that they can focus on what's important when they're college students and then be introduced to the lifestyle little by little.
Okay, that's a great idea as well. Okay. David, what do you think? Do you like the idea of banning people, between the ages of, let's say, 21 to 23? And if that's the case, then should we be able to ban people 50 to 55?
Yeah, I think you can target and emphasize a certain clientele, and if to have a target market, a niche market. I'm looking for the Martini Jazz Bar, where you must wear tuxedos.
Oh, good luck. Anywhere like that. I can't even think of a place like that. Now, back in the day, I used to hang out in Adams Morgan. 18th Street was very popular.
Fine,
and I don't know if it's still the same vibe.
Yeah.
But I was a bartender in college too, and if I couldn't have bartended at that bar, then I wouldn't have been able to help pay my way through college. Probably.
I'm also going to say.
I'm glad that they didn't ban me.
Yeah, I'm also going to say there already technically is a ban on college students because you have to be 21 to get into a bar.
Yeah.
So what's the real issue here?
That's true. They just
but
don't,
I do
want
like
the
it.
riffraff.
I do like it. I agree.
Does AU still have the tavern on campus?
It's not called the Tavern, but yes.
Okay, it's still there. That's
Yeah.
good to know. They used to be able to drink on campus, except not in the dorms. There was one set they would serve beer at the tavern,
Oh, no.
but you couldn't.
That's
the
not there
dorms were
anymore.
dry.
That is
How
not there
things
anymore.
have changed over the last 2 decades.
It's not there. There
Come
is
on,
no
American
drinking.
University. All right, next up, a perfect story for Throwback Thursday if you're an elderly millennial like me, because apparently cassette tapes are making a comeback. In fact, cassette sales were up 204% in just the first quarter of this year here in the United States. Creators like Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga have all released new music on cassette tape. Some people think this is a revival, like with vinyl. A lot of people are into that. Others say it's just kids trying to tap into the nostalgia trend. So Kennedy, a cassette tape comeback. Do you like it or not?
I love it. I think
Really?
it's an incredible idea. It makes music affordable because a lot of times what happens is artists release albums and then you have to buy the album. Sometimes they'll unrelease music and it's a whole deal and things are just way too expensive. And if they're selling them for what they were sold, in the 80s and 90s, then I think that's great. But I'm sure that there are thrift shops out there that are selling cassette tapes for over $10, which anybody over 30 is like $10. Like what? No. Yes, they are selling these vintage items like cassette tapes for a lot of money.
Do you have any cassette
I
tapes?
do not have any cassette tapes because I don't want one personally.
yeah, okay.
But I do have a vinyl, I do have a record player.
Okay.
That's usually how I listen to music. But yeah, I just think that a lot of resellers are reselling vintage items for a lot more money. But if you're finding cheap ones, I love it.
I have been fascinated going into some thrift stores and, kind of not antique stores, but the selection of cassettes that they have and the market that they have for them. Allison, do you like the cassette making a comeback?
Yeah, I think it's cool. For one, for the younger generations that have never experienced that, because I tried to tell my son about this recently, and he couldn't really, get it through his mind. So I think I should actually get one from my childhood house and show him. But I think it's so cool, and it just brings back memories for those of us when that's pretty much all we had.
Yeah, David, do you think if their cassettes are going to make a comeback in terms of music getting released on them, do you think they should also bring back the mixtape where you can have 2 cassettes side by side and record things off the radio?
Not at all. Not at all. There's a reason that we moved so quickly from mixtapes to CD and MP3s and iTunes and all that. Far more convenient, better sound quality. It's nostalgic to listen to old cassettes, but no. I mean, the quality off some kind of digital song is far better.
All right. Chad is our resident, DJ, music guy. Chad, do you like the idea of the cassette making a comeback?
I wish I saved my thousands of cassettes back in the day. Yeah, I wish I had them. Yeah, I'm just nostalgia, man. I love cassettes, but CDs, but I want to go back. Digital's too convenient. I do like it.
What do you think was like your first cassette and what was like your last cassette?
Oh, jeez. First cassette was probably Kiss. Probably a Kiss Destroyer.
Okay.
Something like that.
Jim just gave that the round of applause.
I think one of my last ones, I would have to say something probably around Pantera.
Okay. So you stayed pretty consistent, at least.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy. It was heavy stuff.
I definitely had Green Day's Dookie on cassette, REM's Monster. I probably had Nirvana's Unplugged in New York. So I was like right in that early 90s Pearl Jam Vitalogy era type of a thing. Just reliving the glory days. All right, let's do something that's a little more Kennedy speed maybe. We're going to go from cassette tapes to TikTok.
Oh, perfect.
Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok.
I'm a new TikTok person, as you know, because apparently it has us and our wallets in a chokehold. And we've talked a little bit about this before. According to a new report, in the first 10 months of this year alone, 170 million Americans spent more than $10 billion on TikTok's integrated e-commerce platform. The TikTok shop lets users shop while watching TikTok videos, and some TikTok users say the platform is slowly morphing into another Temu or Shein rather than a social media app. So Kennedy, do you shop on TikTok, and do you like this sort of progression that it's becoming this online shopping platform?
Absolutely not. I am anti-TikTok shop. Every other video I scroll in, there's a little ad thing at the bottom, and it's like, okay, I see what's going on here. Because when you look at old apps like Instagram, and it was just like you would scroll, and it would just be your friends and your cousins, and like you would use it just like catch up with people. And I feel like that's kind of what TikTok was supposed to be, just like the music version. But now it's like they're trying to sell something every other video, and I have to like say, I'm not interested in the video. block the person so I'm not constantly being bombarded by ads. And it's like every other social media app. And it's like, I was born in 2004, so I'm 21 years old, and I still remember a time where social media was just social media to catch. Oh, okay.
That's okay.
It's just social media to catch up with your friends. But like the fact that I'm 21 and I think it's insane that everything is just an ad is so frustrating because it just feels inauthentic and it's not as fun. So no, I don't like it.
Thumbs down to it. All right, I 100% agree, and I'm a brand new TikTok user. Also, I graduated in 2006, so ouch. All right, Melissa, do you like this or not? I mean, how much do you use social media these days?
You know, I'm on social media every day, especially now since, you know, with this new baby, everybody's where I'm at. So I have to communicate through social media because I can't possibly answer 100 messages on a regular basis from all different platforms. But I do agree with her. Every other video that you see is a TikTok shop, somebody offering something, somebody saying that this is good or whatever. Me personally, I've never bought anything from TikTok. I will never buy anything from TikTok, and I don't care how many people recommend it. I block just like she does, and I just keep it moving. I should not be using social media to do. Sorry.
Yeah, go to the store.
Look, and we've talked about sort of like the TikTok live shopping where people do it like QVC style, and I think that's totally different, and I understand why people do that. It's too bad Ryan, our friend Ryan Lynch, isn't on here because we know he's guilty of shopping on TikTok. Freddie, what are you showing us on your phone right now?
Oh my God.
Actually, that's my Instagram.
That's your Instagram?
I don't use it. Yeah. If you can see right here, that's Living GT Speed 25. That's me.
That's
but
you.
Let me tell you how you doing, Kennedy. And also, another thing I was going to say is I don't use TikTok shopping, not even Instagram shopping either. I just if I block strangers, I can move on to it.
Okay.
That's all I do. That's all that matters.
Oh, Maria, I know you're on Instagram. I know you're on YouTube. Are you also on TikTok?
I was, and then I just had to go home. Just too much stimulation. And the same concept with social media, especially the first word, social. I feel so many influencers, organizations, you focus more on the media part and not realizing it's social media, not commerce media or, marketplace media. And it's just so distracting. It's like, no, I want to see people. I want to see what they have interest in that I have interest in, but I'm just being sold something, which, as everyone has said, I just keep not interested. I think I should start blocking. That's a good function to start using.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't like it. Just leave the e-commerce to do what they do and collaborate with them, but let us be social, please.
Yeah. So if anyone out there on that feed is listening, we don't want to be sold anything. All right, we're going to get to the AI portion of this show now. It seems like not a day goes by that there's not another story about artificial intelligence. And first up, Time Magazine naming the architects of AI their 2025 Person of the Year. You see the CEOs right there. There were two different covers that actually got released. Time said in its announcement that 2025 was the year when artificial intelligence full potential roared into view and when it became clear that there will be no turning back. So Kennedy, honoring AI with this Person of the Year title, do you like this or not?
I do not. I do not like it at all. I have to say I'm a dancer and I'm an artist, and as an artist, we kind of have a certain feeling towards AI because it takes away any and all creativity behind any intellectual property that we have. So that side of me is like, I'm not a big fan of AI because it takes away from that. However, I'm also a student and I don't want to spend an hour on my citations. So did AI do some of my citations? That's what I'm saying. Like, these people have definitely changed like the game with technology, and I really appreciate that. But also awarding them to be People of the Year. And it's kind of funny to be awarded Person of the Year for creating artificial intelligence. There's definitely some type of irony there. That's a little bit unsettling to me.
The same as the fact that our Word of the Year was a number.
Yeah. I just think it's a little bit ironic that happened, but I'm gonna say I don't like it.
You
with
don't
some
like
caution.
it. All right, David, there are your AI overlords right there on the cover of Time Magazine.
Oh, you stole my thunder, beat me to the punch. I was going to quiz you on it, but you got me.
All right.
Hey, I like it, and the fact that we're talking about it here is will make Time Magazine happy that they, had a conversation starter. But there's technicality here. The person of the year are the architects of AI, according to Time Magazine, not actually AI
not
itself.
AI.
Right. But, it could also be argued, and look, I know Time doesn't necessarily, it's not like the best person of the year, but these are the guys who unleash this on the world in some people's opinions. We're going to stay on the theme of AI, and like I said, this is the AI portion of the show. We know it's replacing a lot of things, like you said, especially when it comes to art and creative types. And that could soon include police sketch artists. This is from the Washington Post. Police in Phoenix recently used an AI-generated mugshot of a suspect. This was back in November. It did come with the warning that this is an AI-generated image, it's based on victim/witness statements, and does not depict a real person. Now, defenders of the method say it's sourced the same way as a typical composite sketch, because they interviewed a witness, they drew a sketch based on that testimony, then they fed that into ChatGPT to create a lifelike image that then they could release. The comment section on the Washington Post story, however, not convinced, and see this as a major slippery slope. So Kennedy, AI police sketches, do you like this or not?
I like it. Is that so controversial to say that I think this could be extremely efficient, and I think that this could actually help? Because I think this is part of a larger ploy to there's people calling for police need to be doing police work and all this stuff, and I think this is a great way to use AI. That said, it's terrifying because one wrong move and an entire cases could fall apart. Hundreds of cases could fall apart. So I think, yes, it could be helpful, but I think there's at least 30 more years worth of research and technology that needs to be, developed before we even can put this in a pilot program, let alone actually use it in the field.
Melissa's shaking her head no. She doesn't like it one bit.
I don't like it.
Listen, as a former law enforcement employee and that I worked many years in law enforcement, let me tell you something. This is a bad idea. The wrong person could be generated, the wrong people can be behind it, and the wrong person can get accused. I'm sorry, I'm totally against this. People can, even sketches, when you come up with sketches, people don't get it right. Sometimes you're completely off. So why would you allow a computer to do that? It's absolutely no, hell no, no.
I actually said to Jim that when we do this story, I had a feeling I was going to get a hell no from Melissa. Allison, how about you? What do you think?
I'm on the fence about it because, again, when someone's drawing and you might say, okay, this person has large eyes or small lips, and you start doing it that way, you would probably get a better idea with the AI sketch. But then again, I'm a little more strong with Melissa's point that I can see a lot of the wrong person getting arrested and other things happening. It could definitely go wrong, and a wrong person could get caught or hurt or arrested because of this. So I'm on the fence, but more towards not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, just one minor change, and that could end up looking like me before you know it, or anyone, and that's a little bit scary. And we've talked about sort of these AI musicians and these AI actors and actresses, and despite the fact that they're supposed to be a computer generated person, they still probably drew inspiration from someone. And I don't know. Let us know what you think. Keep the comments coming on YouTube. We'll check those in just a minute. Coming up next, though, we're going to talk about baby names again, okay? Baby Jordan, in case you're listening, we're talking about baby names and who gets to decide. All right? And you guys know why I care about this topic. We'll be right back. Awfully nice
Yeah.
to yourself. All right, welcome back to Do You Like It or Not on this Throwback Thursday alongside Kennedy Morgan, American University. Once an Eagle, always an Eagle. Always an Eagle. American University, you and I are going to have words at some point. I did not. Yeah, Claude the Eagle was our mascot. But
I was Claude a
You
couple
were?
weeks ago. I was Claude.
learned
I
something
was
new
the
today.
Eagle.
I feel like the mascot's gotten a little better since my days.
They wanted the dancer to
admittedly.
do it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, well,
So-
there you go. We learned something new about
Yeah.
Kennedy tonight. All right, Kennedy, last night we were talking about waiting until a baby is born
Mm-hmm.
before you settle on a name, like the idea that you needed to meet this human being
Mm-hmm.
before you decided what you maybe you had some ready to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Okay. Tonight, though, we're talking about who actually gets to pick the name because one mom is going viral with her hot take. Take a listen.
My controversial take on baby names is that if the baby has the dad's last name, the mom gets to pick the first name. No ifs, ands, or buts. 50-50, mom's choice.
There you go. Mom's choice. If the baby has dad's last name, mom gets full say in what first name is. Do you like that take or not?
I like that take. I like that take. However, I think that you guys should try to compromise and come up with a name together. Because
yeah.
that's horrible. Like, that would be horrible. Like, if someone didn't get a say in their own kid's name.
Right.
So I do agree with, like, if that's a problem, if you got only a 50-50 compromise on the kid's name, like, sure, last name, first name. But also, I do like the idea of waiting till the baby's born. Just because sometimes you have, personally, I have a list of 50 names. But probably none of them are going to get used. Because, you know, sometimes when you look at a kid, and I'm not a mom, but maybe my mom who's watching can attest to this, I think my name came about when I was born.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I think
From
if you want to
everything
do
I
a 50-50 split, yeah, but if I had to pick, mom picks the first name.
Yeah, everything that I've heard from my parents, my
Yeah.
name was supposed to be one thing up until the day I was
Same,
born.
yep.
And now it is what it is.
Yeah.
Producer. My first name is Producer. I bet you guys didn't know that. Melissa, baby Jordan, who got the pick?
So they both came up with it, but a little story about me when I had my first child. I came up with two names, both a boy and a girl, just in case. The whole time during my pregnancy, they told me that I was having a boy. So I stayed with Jaden. But if I was having a girl, it was going to be Jaylene. Sure enough, until the day I gave birth, it was a girl. So I'm glad that me and her dad agreed that if it was this or name her that. And I think 50-50. I don't think it should be, he has her last name, then I should pick the name. No, work it out together and come up with a solution. But no, they should not, pick a side. No.
Allison, do you agree with Melissa? And do you at least agree that if you're in a stalemate, maybe the person who doesn't have the last name gets, a little bit of a weighted vote?
No, there's no way to vote about it. It's a 50-50 decision all the way around. Like there should never be, oh, I get this, you get that. That's crazy. I can only imagine how that child is going to be parented. It's going to be horrible if you can't even do that over the name.
But
yes, it should be shared.
Very fair as well. But I will also say that I like the idea of having to put that pressure and the onus on my wife instead of having it on my shoulders because I'm very nervous about the idea of having to pick a name. Yeah. We're still working on it. Like I said, this weekend. All right, speaking of parenting, we talked about Pete Davidson last night because he's making some headlines for being a dad soon. And now he is on a mission to make minivans cool again. He actually teamed up with eBay to create a custom one for himself. They also made a matching model that they will auction off for a special cause. But he says he's actually been driving one since before he found out he was going to be a dad, and he loves them. So Kennedy, minivans, are they cool or not?
They are so cool.
They're
love
cool?
it. I love a minivan. I didn't realize we were losing the art of the minivan. I recently saw a video.
Everybody's got an SUV now, right?
Everyone's got like a small little Tesla. I'm like, where's the minivan? But I would say some of my best memories were coming home from soccer practice in a minivan stuffed with 8 people, or like coming home from dance just in either my dad's truck or like whatever. Just like, I miss being shoved into just a giant truck with all your friends. I don't know if that's weird to say, but it was super fun, and they build a lot of memories, whether it's road trips. My grandpa still has like a minivan probably from like that wall over here, and I love it. So I like it. Yeah, minivans are cool.
The minivan.
Shout out to Pete Davidson for that.
Shout out to Pete Davidson making the minivan cool again. David, do you rock a minivan?
No, SUV.
SUV, yeah, exactly. That's the way everything's gone. I thank my parents all the time for not having a minivan when we were growing up, because it would have been such an easy choice with 3 boys, and then I had, a ton of cousins. Allison, is the minivan cool again?
No, I could never see that. And I had a lot of kids, and my dad used to say, get a minivan. Absolutely not. I had to do the SUV.
Okay. Oh, Maria, what do you think? Do you agree?
I think minivans are cute because they're so multi-purpose. You could go cross country. You can fit a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of food, a lot of memories. I think they should. I never thought that. I never knew they were uncool. I always thought it's functional, and is a big family, or we're a big tribe. Yeah. I think that's kind of the status symbol. Like we roll heavy.
Understood.
I love that.
Chad, you seem like a van guy to me. You seem like a total van guy to me.
How did you know?
With the windows spray painted out and everything.
White van, no windows.
Yeah, I actually, I've outgrown my desire to be cool, so I think a minivan is just a party on wheels. But I did once own like one of those big conversion vans. I was in a touring band, so we had a big conversion van. It was like a Dodge with a big V8. It was awesome. I loved it.
That's what I love to hear. Yeah. A-team style. All right. Thank you, everyone who joined us in the Lion Zoom room tonight on this Throwback Thursday. Thank you, Kennedy, for joining us. We appreciate you coming back to Fox 5, and we're wishing you luck. Hopefully all the finals went well, and this next semester goes well. And then, before you know it, maybe one of our new colleagues right here at Fox 5. We'll see what happens. We'll see you back here at 9 o'clock with Tony P. We'll have everything going on. I got to double check that rundown here to find out what's going on. For producer Jim, I'm producer Chris. We'll see you back here tomorrow night, same time, same place. Have a great night.